Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the canyon. Welcome back to another previously threatened, as I've threatened in the past. It is the final week of January, and apparently that's when I do the shop tour, course tour updates. It is the 26th of January. We did it last year on the 27th, and the year before that on the 28th. And that's gonna get cooked up because this is a leap year. So next year's the 24th, or do we go back up? I don't know. It's one or the other. We'll definitely find out next year. So we're gonna do the little walk around inside here, see what has changed, if anything at all. We are going to walk around out there, see if anything has changed, and I think it has a good bit. I know for sure that last year the cement mixer was right out in the middle, and we were sorting through bricks at the time. The weather was a bit different. It's wetter this winter. It's wetter. So, before we even get into the tour, y'all know this is different. We only just did this. And the other side of this, behind the Vault Boys and Marie there, I had a strike of inspiration last night. I don't have the material to do it, but Visitor Garage is going to get a working, because if you hang a rock crawler, if you set it on two pegboard hooks, it will slowly start to sag those pegboard hooks down. So I'm going to make a 6 vehicle parking area over there, at least 6. If I could get 8, that would be the dream, but right behind Marie Kondo is an oscillating spindle sander, so maybe 7? I don't know. We will see how that shakes out. Before we get into any sort of touring, we've got installments coming up. The CJ will have one coming up in the upcoming week. We've got, starting I think Sunday, it's going to be like nice. Like, we've got a couple days in the 70s. I want to paint at the very least the Bug. I would like to paint the Bug that's on the VRD, and I would love to paint the Bronco if possible. That one should be easier. It's ABS. And I still have a creep body that needs to be painted. I don't know how much of it I'm going to get to. The kind of mini goal for the week is to paint that Bug. So I don't want to bury the lead on this. I'm going to take you down an avenue of hope and hubris where I was badgered and beleaguered. People kept saying, stickers, 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 stickers. Where are the stickers? Show me the stickers. So I went on the internet and I did what old people do, which is I found the first one and was like, I'll give it a try. And it was another one of those things where, like, if I go to the supermarket to buy shredded cheese, let's say shredded cheese, I'm going to buy whatever size package has the cheapest per unit, like whether it's the ounce, the pound, whatever. That's how I go. So when I bought my stickers, which you will see momentarily, I went by the cheapest per unit. That happened to be something kind of in the middle. So this is what we're working with, and I'm not upset with them at all. Well, okay. Hope and hubris. Oh, his body's not even attached. So there is one on the back window of Kronk, and as you can see, there's a little overlap. If you look very closely, I don't know if we can get it in the light just right. There we go. The label, the text is not centered inside the clear part. And that's where the real hubris part came through, which is I thought clear backing, because nobody's going to want a sticker that's all white. And if I had done these all white and it was off-centered like that, I would be furious, because remember when I mentioned something about quantity? Well, there's a couple stickers on there. So we make, if life gives you lemons, you throw the lemons back at them, and then you use what's left over to make lemonade. And then what you do is you go to your Cricut and you get vinyl out and you cut. And why am I cutting all of these, you ask? Well, I did not anticipate that the yellow would be translucent, or at least not as translucent as it is. If you put it on some sort of reflective surface, they look great, right? If you stick them on the back window of this vehicle, invisible. It's almost like there's no sticker on it at all. You can just see the sort of silhouette of the outside of the sticker. I have a couple of these, and I was like, well, this is a fine mess you've gotten us into. So, it then occurred to me that we don't do RTRs here. We prefer not to. So, we have unintentionally, but where we've ended up is our stickers come in a kit. So we're going to use the tweezers. So and I realize I can do this in order so that you can see that you can't see. So even when you pull it off, it gets it's a little more translucent now. So let me try to get it sort of straight in his back window. You can read it a little, but you know, I was thinking more in terms of something like this. So, you get yourself, these were super easy to make on the Cricut, thankfully, and my OCD-ness came in full effect. And I cut 250 per sheet. There are 2,000 of these. So I cut 8 sheets. I do need to order some white vinyl off of Amazon. Oh, okay. So record that mentally, which you see there. Because I don't know how to frame this so that you could see it. And then, I know this is enthralling. I didn't get that as straight as I would have liked to, but hey, see, you can read it now. So, Crawler Canyon stickers for your rigs, available in kit form. In which what I do, we'll do it for you right here. I take a little baggie that parts come in, and we do it in either 4 or 8, depending on how people feel. If you want, and like, have I thought ahead to what my plans are for the stickers? No, not at all. Not at all. Some are already out there. I don't know if anyone's received them yet. So 8 of these and 8 of these, and I put them in a little thing. And if you've done any sort of request of a part, or you've sent something in on trade, and I'm trading it back, I throw this in there. And then you get some Crawler Canyon stickers that you can put on your rigs. And if you don't want to put them on your rigs, then don't put them on your rigs. That's fine. But if you do, I have a couple. I have just a couple. And I would love for everyone that wants one to have one. How we are going to logisticate that, that's a made-up word. For locales that are far-flung, I don't know. I mean, I can fit them in an envelope. I guess we'll find out what it costs to send an envelope to, like, I don't know, Europe, Australia. Because, much as I've mentioned in the past, when I sold Scion parts, it tickled me to no end that there are Scion parts that I have made in Australia, Hungary, Bulgaria, Canada, all across the United States. Whenever something exotic would come, I sent parts for a Toyota Yaris to Switzerland. So it just tickles me that something that was made in this building by an idiot is now on the other side of the world. So the idea of Crawler Canyon stickers making their way around the globe. I don't know. It appeals to me on some semi-irrational level, so I will do everything in my power to get them to you if you should want them, wherever you might be. And if you email me or message me on Instagram about it and I don't get back to you, just message me again. Because here's what happens. Here's how my brain works. Very similar to you walk to the refrigerator and forget why you went there. If I see the email or the text or the Insta message and I'm right here in front of it, I will answer it. Or I will go, oh, I should answer that guy's message. I will then go out and work on the course or work on filming videos for 4 or 5 hours, and it's gone, baby. It never made it out of short term into you need to remember to do this later. It's just gone. Like, I never deliberately, I'm like, I'm not going to answer this guy. It's just gone. And as the years pile on, that just gone, man, does it get stronger and stronger. I forget. Boy, do I forget. So, hit me up more than once. Before we start doing a walk around, Jolly Green, I mentioned on, oh my God, he's such a beefy boy. I mentioned on Wheelin' Wednesday he would be back on Friday. Here he is back on Friday. He is fully charged. He is ready to go because he's going to do a little test. He was going to do a double test for today, but it has been reverted to a single test. He will be testing this setup, which are deep woods, and in the front, we've got Canyon Customs of an unknown quantity. Someone turned me on Amazon. They linked me to this stuff, which is like the reticulated polyethylene on steroids. This is a filter media for a pond or aquarium, and it comes just like this in a big long strip. You might have seen the end of it hanging over the tire rack here for a couple weeks, because when it comes in a package, it's smaller than a pack of cards. And waiting for it to relax, and then I use the heat gun. It is quite soft, and here's a cut one. So it's basically just over the 2 layers. Like this is, I think these are 8 millimeters, so you get 16 millimeter. This is 20 millimeter when it's done. That is what is inside these, and why I grabbed another set of wheels is I'm not ready to commit. He is currently fitted Canyon Trails, RTR Canyon Trails, no S1s involved. These are all RTRs, so these have all been baked off of wheels. Canyon Custom Soft in the front, so 2 wraps. So we're testing this, and we can't test one thing at a time. We have to test 2. So it's deep woods with that. And then the rears are those Crawler Innovations. I've got one right here. I didn't get my stuff ready in time. It's these guys. So that we're pretty bagged out. Because I'm looking for that same amount of drive out of him, but like some side hill support, some sidewall support, because these are the softest single stage 465 foams I could find, as you're spreading so much load. 6x follows completely different rules from 4 wheels. These are the softest you can find, and I do find that they are over crushing even when climbing. We can get to a particular part in the climb, and the rears will over crush. But if you put anything firmer in there, they just stop working. So I'm hoping, like we've got that suppleness, almost like they're just aired down all the time. So we're going to see how the deep woods do aired down all the time, and if they do indeed work, I will probably transfer them over from these wheels to these wheels, or maybe we'll love the look of the black. I think it looks a little black, a little bleak. He's pretty great on the copper. So these will go in the sack Oh yeah, and we will get an impact. I got new bit holders. There's something on your shop tour. I finally found ones that I like. These are really nice, and they were really cheap. So we got that. Wait. Hey, battery's charged. All right. His battery's charged too. I checked it in advance. So that will be the guy that we are runabout for the day. I have no idea how much running about we're going to do. Oh, I said it was going to be half of a thing. The other half may still... We'll do it later. We'll do it later. I was sent in by a fantastic supporter of the Canyon, a resident of what I call the mythical land of Michigan, because I am still not 100% convinced that Michigan exists. Michigan is a place where I am familiar with the lake effect. One half of my family hails from Chicago. That was their landing point when they arrived in the United States of America from points abroad. And so I'm familiar with the lake effect, so I have actually experienced the lake effect. I got to take a trip to Chicago in the year of our Lord, 1992. That is the last time I was in Chicago. But Michigan can apparently experience all weather simultaneously. It's a crazy place, and no one can actually convince me that it exists without taking me there. So he sent in not one, not two, but 6 Axial Complete Pro shocks. And see how innocuous they look, right? Like that. When you take them out of the package, you're like, sweet. Then you pull them out the rest of the way. Yeah, they're hundreds. Axial and their obsession with 100mm shocks. They do feel nice. They are very heavily damped, and these springs are very soft. They feature a red band, and just by squishing them, under 1.5 pounds. So a very soft spring. Maybe even too soft for this. But there's 6 of them, and I have talked in the past at some length about you can't just take a shock of whatever length and just slap it on a vehicle. If a rig came with 90s, particularly if you have chassis-mounted steering, the geometry, the panhard, the drag link, all of the front upper, they're all designed around the length of that shock. When you change that length of that shock, you change, I'm not going to say basically, you absolutely change the triangulation of the front end. Things can get bad. He might be a bit more forgiving being a 6x, so we are indeed going to slap those on here, and we will do a little quick view of them, and we will dissect one of them to see what they look like up on the inside, and they have the most overwrought, ridiculous, if I just showed you this part, if you just saw that, you'd be like, what Gundam did that fall off of? That is the spring cup. And the spring cup is so tight that you have to put it on a very specific way. And I keep having to look, or it won't even go. But the springs are just regular, and they might be softer than DravTech Softs, and a DravTech Soft is like a 0.8. If we were going by axial numbering, axial red band is under a pound. I think it's under a pound. 1.2? 1.2 keeps popping in my head. So we are going to try these on here because I have 6 of them, and what else are you going to test 6 shocks on except a thing that uses 6 shocks? He does really well on the Desert Lizards, but it definitely falls into that category of Ghost Rover did great on the tires that were on him before, and then somebody suggested trying it on holds, and he did better on holds than he had done previously. So we're not ruling anything out. He's gonna be the test rig for those, which is, I know, we may double that test up and just take 4 of them and put them on something else. I can't think of a rig offhand that I have set up on hundreds. I've got a couple on 120s. So many on 90s I can't count. But hundreds? I would have to dig. Like, I can't just throw hundreds on baseline. I mean, I guess I could. I guess. Maybe Baseline will have to come out with this guy and they'll do it together. Anyway, we've got to get to a shop tour and a course tour. And I don't remember how I did it last year or the year before. I just know that there's more course and there's a bit more shop. So let's take a look at all of that together. And I don't know why I tried to do a nifty transition where I lined this camera up in the same position with the other camera, because that wasn't working. If anyone was curious as to how I know what I'm doing, that's how I know what I'm doing. Yeah, that camera's still powered up. Like, whoa, wait. I didn't have that the entire time I was on iPhone. I would have to crane my head back around behind the back of the camera. This is a superior setup, but what it does require is a whole area just to charge batteries. There's that, right, and that's an iPhone 8 with a cracked screen. That is camera 3 when we film Mavericks. So I don't know how much has changed in my work area. Oh yeah, well, we got the orange thing. We've got there's no room down here. There's no room down here. It's completely packed. Some of the rigs have swapped garages. Baseline got moved up here because Baseline gets used a lot. Lovely gentleman from here in Southern California brought me this, which is now, what we do is we cover everything in stickers to the point where the sides are covered with stickers, and now we've moved to, we're covering the lid in stickers as well. I love bins, I love boxes. Those used to be where that is, so that all got moved around. If you haven't seen last year, there go the labels. This all opens. There's now stuff all over the ground. I did that to myself. The tire rack used to be 2 tiers and is now, no, it was 3 tiers and is now 5. There was a TV here last year. I distinctly remember that. It is now all where the inserts live. What we call Garage 1 is now, there's 3 more on top, and I did not quite have enough material, and also it's kind of under the beam, so we couldn't get it the exact same size anyway, but we needed to move those there. I don't know, is it going to glare out on this? This garage also did not exist last year. This has been all moved around. That's camera 1. That's the primary filmer for everything here. We finally got, I got that on the birthday, we finally got a new grinder / wire wheel, as I was using one from Harbor Freight that had been through a fire for years and years and years. The drift car has a parking space now. The radios have a place to go. All the MX3X get to live together. There is the world's loudest ultrasonic cleaner. Here's the holding area for stuff that's going out. I've started to clean up my boxes. I've put all my cycling tools in one location, which is nice. One of the biggest and most lovely changes of the past year is that Makita is gone, replaced by a Jet 12X, which has 60 degrees to one side and 50 degrees to the other. It's magical. What it needs more than anything is for the upper half, everything from that board up, to be rebuilt, because that is the 3rd saw. That is technically the 4th saw. There were 2 DeWalt's, and then there was the Makita, and now there's that, and it don't fit. It don't fit good at all. So that needs redone. The wheels still just kind of live leaning against a wall because I don't know where to hang it. The laser works non-stop nearly. I've been cutting shock stands again so I can give away some more shock stands. It's starting to run out. Still in the box. I did see an Instagram reel that desperately makes me want to set up my 3D printer, but I just haven't. I just haven't. The Kraton now hangs right up here. I haven't hit my head on it once, so it gets to hang there. There is Visitor Garage. There is how a lunatic organizes their shock springs. Yes, we are still working on the Canyon gates. Oh, yes, I would be remiss if I did not mention that all day yesterday, just cleaning this place to something that I regarded as presentable. I have reorganized the tires multiple times to give me space to hang stuff for works in progress. Here is the glorious backside of the tire rack. Does it need some work? Yes. Is that plywood still there? This stuff? Yes, absolutely. There. I don't know. I don't know what to show or what to say or what to exhibit because I'm in here every day. Most of the days, every day. Welding table. That's moving up in the world, is it not? If you have a table to weld on, and we bring it around to the area where I spend most of my days. Why is this camera at like a 10-degree angle? Yeah, the gimbal is doing a great job of stabilizing it. Just cock your heads slightly so that it doesn't look so off center. I don't know. Oh yeah, the only the people that have been in here see where foams go. That's where all the unused foams go. And honestly, I think it does make a difference. Like we got that recording studio thing. If you surround yourself by foam, it's gonna eat it up. Oh yeah. We got to point out. So right there, from my power conditioner from the Disneyland. That was the unit that came out of the cabinet that we broke down to get all the parts out of it. So this right here is what we're making bits out of, like the CJ. All of this stuff right here, this is all the fabled Disneyland aluminum. So all the parts for the CJ have come out of this stuff. I've got a reasonable supply of Disneyland aluminum, and also the body mounts on the Bronco, on this guy, are made out of the ultra high molecular weight that was also from the Disneyland. So we're trying to incorporate as much Disneyland as we can. I'm gonna do some mounts that are gonna go on here, and I feel like I have plenty of room to fit 6, because we need room for at least 6. I try not to cloud up the end of the bench like this, particularly when several of those. The Jeej has made an appearance in every State of the Canyon video, and may she rest in peace wherever she is. The Jeej lives on forever here in resin, even though she never actually looked that happy. She was had a kind of a grumpy appearance on her face. But this is the shop. This is I don't know. It's crowded. It's full of enough stuff for a place that's double the size. But I mean, it's definitely what I've become comfortable with. This is what I'm used to. I am going to get that 3D printer set up, and if I say it on the internet, that will make it true, so that it's going to have to happen. I will also get these finished so that I can get them out. It's really grinding up radios. Do I like RC4s? I have said in many a video that I wouldn't recommend a product that I wouldn't buy myself. So if I recommend someone buy an RC4, then if you see an orange knob over there, it's an RC4. So would I recommend the RC4? I don't know. Do we have any more? Yeah, there's a couple more. Yeah, I absolutely would. So let me see if I can do this. I need to set this down for a minute. We will pan down. There. Look at it's perfect. Now the gimbal crashed several times last year. So it irks me to no end, because I basically have to watch the screen the whole time. But also, I don't like. So we are 100% willing to make the sacrifice. I am so prepared that quite recently, last night, as a matter of fact, I made sure that the firmware was updated. That's how we feel about getting this done. There is so much noise out of that speed control in the axe. It just kind of... We're going to see. It's been a minute. It has been a minute since I filmed a video without my beloved microphone. We'll drive this guy out a little bit in front of us because he's so quiet. During last year's installment, we were just putting these bricks down. And the goal when you're putting in bricks haphazardly and doing it in an incorrect method is make it look like they've always been here, and I think we accomplished that. I think the bricks look like they've always been here. Oh, you know I don't like being in the shot. Ooh, yeah. We bought a new cord for the cement mixer because it was running on one of those orange utility cords that you get for like $12. Like, look how green. Spring is already springing. I already had to mow, man. I had to go get a new battery for the mower. This is our good buddy, the mower. I had to go get a new battery because the other one was stone dead. I shouldn't have to have my mower out in January. I'm supposed to get time off. So I guess what we'll do. Oh, I have this semi planned out. We're just gonna park this guy over here, and he's running a hobby wing, so the venerable hat. So he's not gonna bleep at us the whole time we're out here because we're not doing anything. So Dry Bone Valley, did it look the same last year? I believe it did. I'm pretty sure. I don't think the open trench sign was here, but I think the rest was here. I don't think we have any fundamental changes across here, except that the part that I love, I think the thing that I love the most about building the course is the course, like seasoning in, settling in. I don't like the newness. I like that we get the green. We got stuff growing in. It'll all die in the summer, but it looks cool. And how am I going to do this and not be in it? There it is. I think this puddle might be semi-permanent. Like, except for summer months, I think there's going to be a puddle right there because it doesn't rain in a couple days, and that puddle's not going away. I've drilled 3 holes in the bottom of it, and it won't go away. So I'm going to try to walk in such a way as to minimize the amount of shadow that I'm casting on it. This thing is unkillable. It will not die. There's still ferns back there. I can't believe that they've lived. They're doing great here in the winter. It's the pond. That turns out it's cattail. I was ready to throw it away, and I found it was cattail. So this is... Okay. I don't think I've broken it down before. So we've got the pond. Okay, coming across here. There's going to be a stream that comes down into this pond and runs down into there. And I'm going to build that, that pond. I've been watching some videos on the YouTubes, the chicken wire and mortar to concrete a pond in. And above the pond right over here, there's going to be an obstacle that is going to wrap around this side of it and extend all the way back. Let's look into the sun and extend all the way back to basically this line. Like, imagine you're going to carry a line straight across from here. So this obstacle is going to be this big, and if you think it ain't going to have a waterfall in it, well, then you're wrong. And I mean like a waterfall. Does this give any? Is there anything that indicates scale of this? It's not quite 2 feet deep, 8 or 10 feet across. It is a size that is the amount of dirt that came out of it. It's a big hole, and I've been moving that tan material over, which, as I said, was all embossed. There are pieces with roses, pieces with fish. Got some actual natural stone. Yeah, okay. We're supposed to go in order. So this is all the original obstacle set. Sleeping Giant, Ancient Kingdom, the steps, the beast. We come all the way across. I don't think any changes were made. I'm not sure any changes were really made here to Deadline either. It is getting its growth back as spring approaches. And it's still got some puddles. We'll see if we can find any snow fleas today. The weeds love it. The squirrels love it. Like, look at the green. And this is all moss, which is wild. I wish that there was enough water involved to make things live through the summer. But aside from the stink trees, which are ever present, nothing out here survives the summer. It broils everything to death. Come up towards Teardrop. We have been trying to shore up this dirt. This is where we test transition. Oh, I left those gloves out in the rain for sure. This is where I test transitioning. Zoop transitioning. Mavericks. Still in progress. Every time we get little rocks, we throw them in here. I had said that we're going to have to shore this face up because it just keeps getting busted out. But if we keep getting rain on it, I don't know, maybe we won't have to. There's still work involved. It needs more tires on the skewers because the skewers are deadly. I have been digging in the trash. There's a trash dumpster over here, and both of these Craftsman wheeled carts got thrown away in there because this one, the bottom drawer has a broken slide, and that one of the drawers in the middle has a broken slide. Well, you know what, baby? I can fix that. So I'm gonna fix that because I need places to store things out of the rain. Oh, yes. Oh, that was a decent pan through the shadow. Sultan's Curse. This is going to be the future location of another 9-gate. It's going to wrap in and out like a DNA helix. You're going to go out and then you're going to come back. So the start and finish will be at the same spot. I'm gesturing out of frame. The start and the finish will be down here, and you'll go through. And it will be of what I determined to be like a moderate difficulty. We've also extended the end of the Montanas out here. None of this is set, although it's set a little. It's set a little from the rain and whatnot. So this will all be mortared in. I feel like we've got a couple lines, and it's not like we have a shortage of materials to help finish that out. So basically none of this. So Monty was not there. Joe was. Tony was not. And Hannah Montana absolutely was not. Of the Montanas, there was only one Montana standing, and I'm 99% sure the bridge wasn't there, the iron bridge, the only metal bridge in the canyon. I don't believe this was here. Made entirely, again, out of scraps pulled from a dumpster. The squirrels are, they're digging right out. Because Hannah is dirt underneath. This is dirt fill. This is dirt fill. It saves you a lot on materials when you can just dirt fill. I have then indeed... I said last year that I wanted to redo this, and I redid this, and I don't know if I'm 100% happy with it yet, but it's redoed. And, this is some of the older stuff that, oh man, I'm gonna have to get the weed eater out here like before the end of the week. This is all due to my buddy who cursed me by saying, wouldn't it be cool if it went all the way around? Yeah, well, now it pretty much goes all the way around. I haven't been under Roots Remain in a minute. Oh, it's all growing in green under here too. We don't film under here a lot, so if you're not a regular viewer, you may not have seen under here. But yeah, the course, the canyon covers all of it. Oh, I gotta get the torch out again. There's massive, yeah, there we go, in the sun. Massive spider webs through Leviathan come through. The gate bases are still there. Oh, we get a nice little view here. That Palo Verde is coming along nicely. They're very messy. They're very pokey. I was raking here and then got distracted and went and did something else. So yeah, and then this tree has sagged down even more. Pepper trees, if you're not familiar, are basically just dead underneath, and only the very outside is actually anything. There's a lot of bushes that do the same thing. A pepper tree is like a bush that's pretending to be a tree. Nope, nope. There we go. The cement is now made in here, which, why wasn't I just making it there the whole time in the first place? I mean, I don't know, put your concrete under a cover like that. It's been raining and raining and raining, but look, my bare plastic cement's not ruined. Gee, wouldn't that be great? We got some posts for lights, but I got a guy to talk about that in a minute. What we got to do is we got to mush a little bit. We got to do a little bit of mush. I don't know how bad this is going to shake this. Pretty bad. I should have extended my legs. My legs! But I didn't. This is a throwback right here. I have not recorded in this way in some time. There is a sort of, I don't know, semi-elegant simplicity to it. It's definitely lighter. The audio quality is going to make me furious. Jolly Green, yeah, see, it's 6 wheels. Now, I believe that some of the push that we get from him isn't exclusively due to the less gooder steering angle of a TRX4 axle. Yeah, so what are we hoping to accomplish? Well, first of all, I just glanced behind me. Yeah, we just let that bag of tires sitting on the bench. You know we did. Can he pull the harder side? Yeah, without trying. Six tires is a cheat code until it comes to I want to make this turn sharply. And then there's a dude, he pops up in the comments and he goes, you need to make that thing multi-steer. And my only response to that is, this is, if you want to make a 6x6, a 6x6x6, where you have steering and power at every axle, TRX4 axles are not it. They're not it. You're gonna have to do that with something else. There is no room in the back to put, without changing his DNA entirely. And Jolly Green was, again, born by the comments where I was like, man, I'd really like to try a TRX6, but I don't want to spend the money and buy a TRX6. And somebody was like, why don't you just buy the parts to put a third axle on your TRX4 that has too powerful of a power plant? And I just stared at the screen and I was like, how can you say such true words to me? And that was how he was born. So stability brought about by both weight, length, everything about him. He's not the best at everything, but for forward drive, he does pretty good. He does pretty good. Not the tightest turning circle you've ever seen, which helps in a sort of compy environment. But whenever we do anything like, you know, in was it in the raid that we had a tug of war? He just wins. He's just gonna win. Like nobody's gonna come close. Look at those rear tires. Just let me let me do this. See, that's what I'm afraid of getting rid of, is his foams. You almost can't get a foam that's soft enough, and then the next thing you know, your foam is too soft. So, I mean, we're gonna find out. And of course, in a foolhardy attempt to make a nifty transition, I attempted to change all 6 wheels without upsetting the vehicle, and immediately, and I mean immediately, dropped a wheel bolt. He's parked on a grate, Basically, it's just hollow inside that. Immediately dropped a wheel bolt down there. So he is now wooded out. He's fitted with the woods. If I could feel a difference in the turn, I couldn't tell you. Well, let me see. Okay. Because here's what I think was happening before, and this is what I was attempting to address. The rears were so mushy that it was making the front end push. Like the rear was overdriving the front. So we had too much forward drive. Now we will see. How much of that forward drive did we sacrifice? Because we had absolutely no problem right here. Okay, I took that a little spicy. Let's de-spice. Going one-hander lander. Okay, there is a hint of a moment of hesitation on the way up. But if we can get any more steering response, then I don't curve. Oh, I just realized, okay, there it is. So not, all right. There's some forward drive. We've lost a little bit of forward drive. So we're not getting, unsurprisingly, if we take a closed cell, single stage, undersized inner, in place of an extremely soft open cell, we're going to lose a little bit of forward drive. The question is it enough? Is it going to impact us? What are we getting in exchange? Those are the words I'm looking for. And I feel like the steer is good. And I also feel like, man, black rims aren't. If you're out there and you like it, let me know. I don't like it. He was on white and then he went to the copper, and I think the copper, like, it suits him so much that I am not with the black. Yeah. You have, well, let's put it this way. You kind of have to pick a line. Before, when he had maximum forward drive, you didn't have to pick a line. You just aimed him in a straight direction and he would go. This is what I wanted to see here. Oh, but the stability right there. I had to get it. I could watch the tire fold over. I had to get way, like, ordinarily the downturn tire. Yeah. You've got to try pretty hard to mess it up like that. On that transition, I literally did the thing. I went to pick up the tripod and I like jerked it up in the air because it weighs. This is the old Manfrotto Moto 785. It weighs nothing. The DJI with the camera on it weighs nothing. And I'm used to picking up my Canon rig, which I think the tripod weighs 4.5 pounds. I think it can hold 25 pounds. It's an 80-inch tripod. Okay, I want to see the turn right here. Yeah, it's better. It's better. So we have definitely sacrificed. But, okay, not sacrifice, exchange. And what it's going to come down to, let's do this. What it's going to come down to for me at the end of the day is, what do we get for our sacrifice? Is it a worthwhile exchange? Honestly, it feels pretty good. I don't know. I don't feel like we've put in enough time to tell. Woo! My fear now, though, is that next time I come out here with the Canon, I am going to, like drop it or something because of the weight. So right there. Right there. Yeah. It's a closed cell single stage foam. It doesn't grip as hard. But Staircase was absolutely trivial to him, as one would expect. I kind of want to see, on descending and ascending, what are we looking at in terms of overall clearance? Like, have we lost any clearance because it's like we're running air down? It's just right there. And you can see why. The intermediate axle this is basically driving like a 4x. So the intermediate axle is in an in-between the wheelbase situation. And then the rear axle can't really do anything. The tires are basically not making any contact. So we kind of snake hips it through, and then it works. I'm nowhere near a judgment on this, as we're basically making an exchange for steering response. He turns a little bit less ship-like, and honestly, I'm willing to take that. Let's get, how does he look here? Like, are they going to smudge? We've got some slip, but I mean, you can just one-hand it. He is the angry caterpillar. So, do I feel a gain or loss of stability? Honestly, I'm gonna say it's a gain, because now his tip angle, where his tip comes on, has always been really slow. And now we froze the molasses slow. Yeah, I don't think there's a spot here that I can crank it over enough to upset him. The thing when you're out driving a 6-spot, the lines are, for the most part, where you determine them to be. I really wanted to try to get some smudge in there. Yeah, we can see a little, it's got a little slippy slide. I'm gonna stay into the turn here. But yeah, he's just got so much weight to drive. Yeah, he's not gonna have a problem. His solo problem is getting through gates, which is not surprising. Let's take a couple hacks, Hannah Montana. We'll do the easy. This is the easy side right here. I want to see what those rears do, because there's a lip that you have to pull over. That's too far. Oh, I see how much you know in the tires. It's fine. It's clean up. Deep woods don't care. There it is. It's a little moist. I expected to lose a little bit of forward drive, and we have, but I expected to pick up like some stability. I expected to pick up some steering response, and I feel like we've done both of those things. It's going to be interesting to see him and others on those pro shots. You gotta get properly dumb to upset him. Okay, there's a really steep spot here. That's in between the wheel bases. Okay. So the fronts, they might feel a little overpacked. Like the height of it, I think with that wrap, with the thicker reticulated polyethylene, adding that couple millimeters, I think that's more of a 475 pack. I think they're a little shoved inside here. He might be a guy where it's another one of those instances where, come on. Look at those back tires digging, literally digging. This might be another one of those instances where maybe he shouldn't have 6 of the same tire. I have a number of tires in pairs. I have 1 pair of Scorpios, I have 1 pair of Holds, I have a pair of Hunks. And he ran on Hunks for a time. I have a number of tires in 475 that I don't think it would be a terrible idea to try mixing up the front end. I'm happy with the Deep Woods with these foams, with the Crawler Innovations, whatever they're called. We've got plenty of drive back there. But also, I feel like partly, at least to some degree, falling down a rabbit hole here. There's a bunch of tires on the rack that haven't found homes. There's the Rock Beast XORs. There's the Flat Irons. There's any number. Am I gonna have to end up mounting 10 sets of beadlocks and just trying the tire smorgasbord on this guy to try to eke out that last 10%? Because as I've said and reiterated in the past, the 6x Jolly Green can get away with most anything. RTR Canyon trails work pretty great with junky foams, but I would like him to be able to drive when it's wet out. So there's a motivation there to get those single stage foams out of the rear. I have options. If anything else, I might have too many options. There's also a set of Deep Woods up on the rack that have squid inserts in them. Squid inserts in the back. We're gonna end up doing, it's been a minute since we've done a tire testival, and I feel like Jolly Green has a tire testival imminent. Some 465s, some 475s, some somethings. We're gonna try some tires on here because I like it, but at the same time, get over seeing the differences between the Canyon Trail and this. All it makes me think is, what will the differences be between these and something else? I had the opportunity to look at him from the underneath, and he's one of those guys. He's a near zero maintenance guy, so he needs some maintenance. His front end, everything is loose. All the links, like the hollow balls, are slopping around in the rod ends. He has he's definitely looked stronger and cleaner. Jolly Green needs it going through. He needs a spa day, and we will do it in 2 halves. We will do half spa day, just get him cleaned and tightened up. Then we will test a bunch of tires. We'll mount a bunch of tires and we'll test a bunch of tires. And then he will get a proper cleaning and going through, and then we will move forward from there. So, you would think that the outro would be coming up right about now, as we pan over here like this. But it won't, because a course tour wouldn't be complete until you got to see it with what is the latest edition, this stuff right here. Hey, Bucket Chair. I need to remember not to forget Bucket Chair out there. So in the wild way that filming occurs, I am going to hand you off to me. But yesterday, so first things last and last things first, yeah, that's pretty much what we did. So I hand off the outro. Hey, thanks, future me. And while this is the desert, you can't really get completely dark. Like this is about as dark as it gets. The Costco lights also have this peculiarity of they don't like they do this. It's off. Like they're not doing it, but these do it. So a tour of the canyon wouldn't be complete without without hitting it at night. By this time of the evening, the cheap batteries that are in the solar lights are basically dead. So it's all a bit dark out. But we would be remiss if we did not include, I'm trying to reach both buttons simultaneously, if we didn't have this part. Oh, I mean, it's pretty good, right? You gotta say that. 1 watt Costco LEDs. This is 336 feet of Costco LEDs, and you can obviously see where it terminates. I think it's gonna, like, there's Mavericks over there. I think just over double what we have. So probably in around the 800 foot range. This is 7 strands. You can see we just kind of end. It's actually 2 lines. But what I was working to do was triangulation. So, like, Anomaly is inside a triangle. And Oblivion is under a triangle. And Undertaker is under a triangle. So these areas are quite very visible at night. It is very easy to drive out here at night, even if you have no supplemental lighting. And once we get another 400 feet, 450 feet or so, I figure another 8 to 10 strands. I have 1 in the shop right now, and we will get more because we get to the sticking point, which is I have done the cost-benefit analysis. It gets quite dark out there, which is each run. Okay, so you can't see, but there's a tie-in right there, just before that pole, and then it goes over there, and that's where a strand ends. So each run is about 2 poles. It's actually 3, but 1 pole is shared. So say you're gonna do 8 runs, that's gonna be 17 poles. So we need about, well, oof. I'm trying not to think about it, because the sum total cost, because you know that I did all the math and added everything together. So everything is strung on stainless wire, and then you've got the strand of lights, and then you've got the post, and I won't be doing post bases. We'll just be doing 12-foot posts and just sinking them and putting concrete in them like we're putting up a fence post. All in, we're looking at $100 a post. So luckily I didn't have to. I bought for what is here this post, and the wire. So the first half of it, say, is really inexpensive. I don't think there's $200 in here because we had all the lights. I had all of the posts, say for 2. I just had to buy the wire. It was like $75 for all the wire and stuff. So it's not too bad until you start having to buy things at 2024 prices, which is why the lights just kind of end right here. And Mavericks is in the dark, and most of the Montanas are in the dark. This phone does a fantastic job of making it look even brighter than it is. I don't want to oversell that it's not actually this bright. It's not this bright. It is workable and it is serviceable. And you can see how we're picking up so much light here that, like, over where the other parallel rocks are, it's just black, and it's not that black over there. Just as it's not this light. Like, I can just barely see those Adirondacks because they're in the dark. But I mean, lights just kind of make everything nice. And if we have goals for 2024, it's get more lights. Maybe not finish the lights, but get more lights. Oh, if I can get this thing down, if I can get that building down, that would be the biggest dream of 2024. And I would like to figure out how to live stream. I'd like to get one in at some point. I would love to do Fridays as a live stream. That would be amazing. But I I'm going to say that I don't know how to do it because I haven't even looked into it. So, maybe I'll look into it. And at some point, we'll meet again. I'll see you again real soon. We got more stuff coming up. Future me probably talked about it. It's weird. This is weird. This is like how movies go, where the first thing you film is the last thing you show. So I don't know what goes on before this. Wild, right? So I will see you again very soon. I hope that in between now and then you do your very best to have a good one, everybody. We'll see you then. And, I mean, there are worse places to be. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? All right. I'm going to see you later, everybody. You know what it is? It's cold. It's desert cold. So I'm going to see you next time. Ooh, I just thought of it. So here's the low rent power section. I made a little roof for it, and like I said, 2 lines, extra bulb, and we'll see you next time. We don't even need to fade to black. We can just do this. I'll catch you next time, everybody.